So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy Ellen. I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. So, summertime is here. Amusement parks, they jumping right now. All the kids is begging, mommy, take me to Six Flags or Disney World. Man, I pray for your feet. If you gotta go to Disney World, that is a lot of walking, man. Just thinking about it traumatizes me. But anyway, it's that time of the year, man. You know, my kids just went to Six Flags, when was it? 2 weekends ago? It's always scary. We let them go with their auntie. It's just always scary to think about, man. You pray for the best, you know? You do. So this video here is pretty much gonna scare the life out of you. You know what I mean? This is amusement parks should be banned. Now, I know we've all seen the videos circulating around. We've seen them. The kid that, unfortunately, prayers to his family, condolences to his family. That happened not too long ago. So all of this stuff that's transpiring through your mind, yeah, it makes you uneasy. So we're gonna check this video out, man. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Join the family. All right? And here we go.
Amusement parks are supposed to be amusing, right? Well, not always. Sometimes even the places designed to be the happiest on Earth can go wrong, and suddenly you find yourself in some kind of dystopian nightmare.
What was that? Did y'all see that?
Find yourself in some kind of dystopian nightmare. Surrounded by evil Goofy and Minnie Mouse, or something like that. From the US park with a high rate of accidents, to the teeter-totter that could send you to your doom, here's the 20 scariest theme park rides of all time.
Real quick, what's the scariest ride y'all ever been on? I just put that, any roller coaster for me. Any roller coaster for me is done it to me, bro. Oh, and then the one as a kid was called the Gravitron. And you would put your back up against the wall and it would take off and it would just suck you to the wall. And the ride be spinning around so fast that you couldn't even move. Your back would be pressed up against it, bro. Oh my, people would do it upside down. It was just always crazy, man. That I'll never forget that ride a day in my life, the Gravitron.
Number 20. Magic Mountain, Six Flags. For those who enjoy roller coasters and other amusement park rides, Six Flags Magic Mountain is a terrific spot to visit. Six Flags amusement parks, unfortunately though, have a high risk of accidents and injuries. Some mishaps occur when visitors fail to follow the norms and directions of the theme park workers. Others are the product of the park's own carelessness.
And that's the part we don't factor in. The park's carelessness.
Full Throttle is one of the park's scarier rides. This amusement park should be banned. Seriously, Full Throttle is the latest in a long line of world records achieved at Six Flags Magic Mountain. It is the world's tallest and fastest looping roller coaster. You're on the greatest of the best, and it's unbeatable. You'll be circling 160 feet in the air, something no one else has ever done before. Nobody other has even attempted it. And because doing a loop of this magnitude once isn't enough, you're doing it twice. There are 3 distinct launches for Full Throttle. That implies you'll accelerate from a full stop to 70 miles per hour like it's nothing. The second time you launch at this high rate, it will be in reverse. That's right, you'll come to a halt within a sci-fi tunnel, just to be bolted back out in the other direction.
If you've never been on a roller coaster and it went in reverse, fam, bro, Man, a roller coaster, that ranks up there for me too as one of the scariest roller coasters, the one that goes in reverse.
Backwards looping just as high, just as quickly. Halfway through the diving loop, the train decides to head forward and you swap directions in the middle of the circle. Back into the tunnel you go, sprinting toward the next act, when you'll hit the mega loop as a top hat, riding on the outside of the world record track, a feat never previously accomplished. Before Full Throttle pulls your world record holding body back down to Earth, you'll enjoy tremendous hang time and the view of a lifetime while sailing on top of the planet. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Number 19. X-Scream Thrill Ride at Stratosphere, Las Vegas. To complete your Vegas vacation, nothing beats being thrown off the edge of a building. A revolving track propels you over the edge of the skyscraper at 30 miles per hour, over 900 feet above the earth, on the X-Scream.
The people that standing there watching, all they can do is just say a prayer for you, fam. At that point, you put your life in that person who's operating that ride. You put your life in that person's hands. Just say a prayer for you.
Atop the Strat Tower, don't waste your time attempting to figure out the arithmetic. Just believe us when we say it's extremely fast, extremely high, and extremely frightening. The purpose of this trip is to tap into each passenger's fundamental fear of falling. Remember how much fun teeter-totters were when you were a kid? X-Scream is a little like that. It's just a little more high-tech, and instead of being an innocent playground, it's perched atop the highest skyscraper west of the Mississippi. The addition of X-Scream to the Big Shot, Insanity, The Ride, and Sky Jump Las Vegas creates a more intense playground for thrill seekers, or those on the losing end of a dare. Even with top-of-the-line safety systems, there are times when it appears you're about to be thrown face first into the road below, and unexpectedly, you love it. If you're not easily
The older I get, I'm starting to realize, thrill seeking is it's not for me. that ride there, it's not for me.
scared or enjoy living on the edge, take a seat in the front row of the X-Scream. Even without the rush, the vista of Las Vegas Valley is certainly worth it. Number 18. Spin Dizzy Ride, Diggerland, Kent. You could be excused for believing Diggerland treats its passengers like dirt because this attraction involves being strapped into a specially made supersized digger bucket and being hoisted up and flung around, and in a way, you'd be correct with Spin Dizzy. This isn't for the faint of heart or those who have just finished their lunch, brunch, or breakfast. If it's your first time, we promise the amazing Spin Dizzy experience will be unlike anything you've ever had before. Take a seat and climb aboard. Wait for our professionally qualified marshal to inspect your seatbelt and safety bar, then wait for some more. You move up and around until you come to a halt, but suddenly you start spinning in the opposite direction.
See, now this one don't seem too bad. You know what I mean? This one don't seem bad at all. I might be able to work with this one.
This amusement park shows no compassion and takes no prisoners with the Spin Dizzy. You've been given fair warning. Adults, OPAs, and children above the height of 100 centimeters are all welcome to ride the Spin Dizzy. Visitors who do not attain the required height will be unable to engage in this activity, so be warned. It is strongly recommended that you avoid this ride if you have cardiac, circulatory, or spinal issues. Number 17.
I feel like you should avoid any ride if you have those problems.
Mission Space Ride, Disneyland. This ride can be found at Disney World, and it's one of the world's most dangerous. Disney had to treat about 200 people who got injured on this ride between 2005 and 2006.
I missed this one. I didn't see this ride, and we pretty much. I gotta remember which part we was at though when we went to Disney, but I didn't do this one.
beyond several passive incidents who got chest pain or irregular heartbeats after trying the Mission Space ride. Mission Space is controversial for being one of the most intense spaceflight simulators accessible to the public, being connected to a centrifuge similar to that used by NASA trainees. Passengers are spun, being subject to 2.5 Gs of force, twice that of gravity, in what is meant to achieve similar weightlessness to that which astronauts experience.
Now you are on course for your slingshot around the moon.
Between the summers of 2005 and 2006, park employees had to manage 200 inquiries caused by the ride, including incidents of people passing out, suffering chest pain, or even suffering from irregular heartbeats. 2 people also died during that period, the first being a 5-year-old boy who suffered from heart failure in 2005 that was brought on by a prior heart condition. The other death took place in 2006, only 10 months later.
See, and it's another ride that causes people to pass out as well. That slingshot, y'all ever seen? I think it's called a slingshot, where they sit you down and they just fling you way up into the air. That one too. So it's like, and I've seen people on camera pass out and come to, and then pass back out. That can't be good.
A 49-year-old woman complained of nausea and dizziness, symptoms common to prior riders. Disney park employees examined her afterwards and believed she was stable, yet upon admission to hospital, she passed away of a brain hemorrhage. Since then, Disney has stepped up to determine how to balance their intent for the ride with its potential to be too intense. The ride currently operates under 2 levels, Green Team and Orange Team, the former of which providing many of the same effects as the original ride, yet done so with much less force and pressure, and therefore fewer physical side effects. Orange Team is the classic ride, and it pushes the culpability to the rider for what they feel they can handle. Number 16. Cyclone Ride, Coney Island. Harry Traver, a roller coaster builder, began work on the first section of what would become the Comet in 1927. Its initial home was Crystal Beach Amusement Park in Ridgeway, Ontario, Canada, where it was known as the Cyclone.
That's where they always get you. And that suspenseful raise up right before the drop. And you, as you're raising up, you see just, it feels like you can see the entire world. That's where they get you at right there.
The Cyclone was dubbed the most intense coaster ever, and it was regarded to be so intense that a nurse's station was built near the ride's exit so that sick riders could be helped quickly. Its tight twists and nearly vertical twisting descent threatened to fling riders out of their seats at any moment. The Cyclone was decommissioned in 1946 as the park's attendance dropped dramatically. Crystal Beach recruited the Philadelphia Toboggan Company and roller coaster designer Herbert Schmeck to create a new coaster that was bigger, better, and safer than the Cyclone in order to attract more guests. This coaster is one of the few that has a shady background, yet is still operational today. The Cyclone, which was certified a New York landmark in 1988, is one of the most recognizable images of Coney Island. The coaster initially opened in 1927, but it wasn't until 1985 that the first death occurred, when a 29-year-old man chose to stand up in the middle of the ride and bashed his skull into a support crossbeam. He died on the spot. One of the maintenance employees was on break the next year when he decided to ride the coaster. Despite being informed of the danger, he elected not to tie the restraining belt and stood up on the ride's ascent. He fell from the cart on the downhill, landed on one of the support crossbeams, much like the last fellow, and perished. There were no further incidents on the Cyclone until 2007, when a 53-year-old man rode it and fractured his neck vertebrae owing to the intensity of the descent. He was
Now that's another thing. The whip and and back and forth. If your bones, like, you can really mess yourself up when those things are slinging you around, and you can do some damage. You can really do some damage.
and fractured his neck vertebrae owing to the intensity of the descent. He was admitted to the hospital but died as a result of complications following the procedure. Despite these events, all investigations have shown that the coaster is a safe ride and it remains one of Coney Island's distinguishing emblems. Number 15. Mindbender Ride Fantasyland, Edmonton, Alberta. This is the only indoor coaster on the list, and the high-speed triple loop coaster is the world's largest of its kind. It is known as the Mindbender of Edmonton, Alberta. Ironically, it was dubbed the world's safest coaster for years, but things went wrong in 1986. Only one day after inspection determined the ride to be safe. After completing one of the loops, the final car began to waver, indicating that there was a problem with the wheels. As the cart derailed from the track and collided with a concrete structure, onlookers gasped in astonishment and fear. The tragedy occurred as a concert was being held just beneath the coaster. A man and 2 girls were killed in the incident, while another received serious injuries. Minor injuries and shock were also reported by 19 other people. Following the accident, it was discovered that 4 bolts on one of the coaster's back wheels had fallen loose, causing the catastrophe.
See, that's the thing. These are things we can't account for. Bolts wiggling or loose and them not being able to notice it or catch it. Stuff we can't. No.
The coaster was subjected to extensive testing and maintenance over the course of 6 months in order to allow it to reopen and continue in a safe way. The number of automobiles was decreased. The seatbelts, headrests, and anti-rollback systems were fitted. The coaster reopened the following year and has been operating smoothly and, most importantly, more safely than ever. Number 14. Formula Rosa, Abu Dhabi. The Formula Rosa roller coaster is a newly opened attraction at Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. Formula Rosa, built by Intamin, is the world's fastest roller coaster, reaching a high speed of 240 kilometers per hour. A hydraulic launch mechanism creates a release velocity of 240 kilometers, allowing the coaster train to reach full speed in 4.9 seconds. During acceleration, riders can experience up to 1.5 g of force and up to 4.8 g throughout the trip. The roller coaster track is 2.2 kilometers long.
Bro, I swear that just climbed that thing in like a snap. Like, did you see how quick it got up there?
Throughout the trip. The roller coaster track is 2.2 kilometers long, making it the world's 6th longest steel roller coaster. Its design was inspired by the iconic Autodromo Nazionale di Monza in Italy. All riders must wear safety glasses due to the high air velocity and the probability of colliding with airborne particles or insects. Formula Rosa has eclipsed King Dakar as the world's fastest roller coaster. However, King Dakar still holds the title for the world's tallest roller coaster. Ferrari World Abu Dhabi is a largely indoor theme park in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, located on Yas Island. It was the first Ferrari-themed park in the world. The park's foundation stone was placed on November 3rd, 2007. The park took 3 years to complete and was formally opened to the public on November 4th, 2010.
They should call this ride here Fast and Furious. You know what I'm saying? That's what this should be.
Number 13. Takabisha Ride, Japan. Takabisha is a steel roller coaster built by Gerstlauer and located at Fuji-Q Highland in Fujiyoshida, Yamanashi, Japan. It is known for its 121-degree drop angle, which made it the world's steepest coaster until it was superseded by TMNT Shellraiser at the American Dream in New Jersey. Takabisha is a Japanese word that means high-handed or domineering in English. The name is a pun since the 3 kanji in it literally translate to high fly car. On May 11th, 2011, Fuji Q Highland announced that Takabisha, the world's steepest roller coaster, was open to the public. Testing for the ride began on June 8th, 2011, and 1 month later, media and special invited guests were permitted to ride Takabisha. The ride was first offered to the public on July 16, 2011. Takabisha is a Gerstlauer Eurofighter roller coaster built to order. The 1,000-meter ride begins with a sharp descent into pitch-black darkness before transitioning into a leisurely heartline roll. The car is launched down a 63-meter-long tunnel by linear motors in only 2 seconds, reaching speeds of 100 kilometers per hour. After that, it exits the station building and walks straight into a gigantic inverted top hat. The car goes through a banana roll, corkscrew, and finally 2 airtime hills just after exiting this inversion. A series of block breaks slow the ride as it returns to the station building. Number 12. Everest Ride, Disney's Animal Kingdom. Expedition Everest, Legend of the Forbidden Mountains, is a steel roller coaster constructed by Vekoma that can be found in Disney's Animal Kingdom in Lake Buena Vista, Florida. The Yeti guarding the Forbidden Mountain near to Mount Everest is the premise of the ride. It is the only roller coaster at Disney's Animal Kingdom, as well as the highest at any Disney theme park. Expedition Everest is the most expensive roller coaster in the world, according to the 2011 edition of Guinness World Records. For 6 years of planning and building, the entire cost was believed to be $300 million US, including sets and extras. It retained this record until 2019, when the $300 million record was broken. At Universal's Islands of Adventure, Hagrid's Magical Creatures motorbike adventure debuted. It is Disney's 18th mountain-themed attraction and the tallest artificial mountain in any of the Walt Disney parks. The attraction was unveiled to the public on April 22, 2003, at an event commemorating Disney's Animal Kingdom's 5th anniversary. Riders mount the roller coaster at Circa Zong's model hamlet to begin a fast journey across the Himalayas to Mount Everest's base. The train turns right out of the station and climbs a tiny lift to a short drop, then circles back to the 36-meter lift hill, which transports the passengers into the mountain. Number 11.
I ain't gonna lie, now that one did look super dope, though. You gotta admit that. You know what I mean? I'll admit it. There's some of them are super dope. That one was one of them.
Insanity Ride.
But back to regular scheduled programming, because this looks stupid.
Stratosphere Las Vegas. The ride Insanity is a genuinely mind-blowing experience. This Vegas attraction will spin you and many other people in the open air, with a gigantic mechanical arm reaching out 64 feet over the side of the Stratosphere Tower at a height of almost 900 feet. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take in the breathtaking views of Las Vegas, yet this ride hardly ever allows.
You know what else is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Your life. That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And right here, you're gambling it. Bro, are you serious, man? I'm not getting on this.
Anybody to do so. This scary centrifuge attraction, which is located atop Las Vegas's highest skyscraper, the Strat Hotel, Casino, and Skypod, employs a massive mechanical arm to hang people 265 meters in the air.
And then he just said it's atop a casino gambling. So not only are they gambling downstairs, you're upstairs gambling with your life. No, I'm not doing this.
As if that wasn't enough, all imprisoned thrill seekers are then tilted to a 75-degree angle. In other words, you're gazing directly at the earth below and spun around at speeds of up to 64 kilometers per hour. Number 10. Sky Screamer Roller Coaster, Germany. This coaster is unique in that it is an ideal replica of Superman Ultimate Flight at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom in the United States. Premier Rides developed and built the attraction for an estimated cost of 8 million euros. The theming is what distinguishes this coaster from the one in the United States. Skyscream is chock full of undead zombies, vampires, and other terrifying creatures. As tourists reach the contemporary station, they will see that it is distinctive in that it is located in the midst of the enclosed ride and is just large enough to accommodate one train. Riders
That's too much spinning, man. You know what I mean? I go to the theme parks to eat. So if I get on that, prayers to everybody who's behind me. Because you're about to get rained on. It ain't going to be water. Huh.
board the train, lower the OTSR, and prepare for takeoff. The train is sent forward, ascending the spiral, and then rolling back into the station, picking up speed as it ascends the opposite tower. The train then accelerates as it passes past the station. This time, the train climbs all the way to the top of the tower and rotates. After that, the train performs an out-of-seat barrel roll. The train then descends, turns around, and loops around the station in an Immelman loop. After that, the coaster turns into a corkscrew and returns to the station. The brakes catch the train as it leaves the station and climbs the first hill, bringing it gently back to the station. Number 9. Nothing But Net, Dallas, Texas.
Nothing but net.
This attraction crashes down onto a net without a harness, just when you thought it couldn't be any worse. There's no bungee, no parachute, no straps here. All you have is yourself, a 130-foot plunge, and a safety net below. That's like begging yourself to watch your own death up close. The roller coaster.
That's trust. And unfortunately, I don't have that much trust to spare, and I'm not using it on this. I'm not trusting that.
Coaster is located in the Zero Gravity theme park in Dallas, Texas. The 16-story drop is a 16-story drop from a height of 16 stories. Is bungee jumping not enough for you as a thrill seeker? Nothing But Net is a challenge from Zero Gravity. Perhaps nothing is more incredible than this among the things to do in Dallas, Texas. We take you to the very top of our 16-story tower. After that, I'll just let you go. There's no bungee, no parachute, no straps. All you have is yourself, a 130-foot plunge, and a safety net below. Of course, the primary concern is safety. The patented release mechanism, the one-of-a-kind release technology, ensures that you land with a low center of gravity. And there's also double netting. 2 stunt-quality safety nets are attached with stronger rigging to assist your landing. In fact, the landing is so gentle that you won't even realize it.
No.
Number 8. King Dakar, New Jersey. King Dakar is a recently opened roller coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. King Dakar is an Intamin accelerator coaster type designed by Werner Stengel that debuted on May 21st. Designed by Werner Stengel that debuted on May 21st, 2005. As the world's tallest and fastest roller coaster. It's also the second ever Stratum coaster, a full circuit roller coaster with a height of more than 400 feet. The first top thrill dragster held both records. The train accelerates to 128 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds thanks to a hydraulic launch system. The train ascends 456 feet to the main top hat tower feature at the end of the launch track before descending 418 feet and completing the circuit in 28 seconds.
Nah, I'll be the guy at the bottom holding everybody's jackets and their drinks and food. That'll be me. I'll volunteer to be that guy.
While it is still the highest, the speed record of King Dakar was beaten by Formula Rosa at Ferrari World in 2010, yet it remains the fastest coaster in North America. On September 29th, 2004, Six Flags Great Adventure announced that King Dakar will be introduced to the park in 2005. This news was made at a press conference for roller coaster fans and the media. King Dakar is located in the Golden Kingdom, a jungle-themed section of the park. The ride is based on a fabled Bengal tiger that was once kept at the adjacent Temple of the Tiger, an interactive exhibit that closed in 2010. Number 7. Superman Ride of Steel, England. Six Flags America's Superman Ride of Steel is a steel roller coaster. It first launched on May 13th, 2000, and it is now Maryland's tallest.
That anticipation buildup gets you every time. They just start off slow, and then they just slowly bring you on up, slow. Like, that anticipation gets me.
Roller coaster. It's a carbon copy of the Six Flags Darien Lakes Ride of Steel, which debuted a year before. It has a 63-meter lift hill, a 67-meter drop, and more than a mile of track. It is regarded as the world's greatest roller coaster. The virtual reality aspect of the ride, which was recently added, has piqued the public's interest even more. The train executes a U-turn after leaving the station, and 8-foot chain lift hill. The train descends 205 feet after cresting the lift hill, achieving the ride's top speed of 73 miles per hour. Riders will meet a banked right bend at the bottom of the first hill, followed by a big second hill. The train enters a broad 540-degree banked helix after descending the second hill, with a long straightaway after exiting the helix. The ride allows riders a chance to catch their breath before hitting another huge hill. The train enters another huge 500-degree banked helix at the bottom of the third hill. Number 6. Tower of Terror, Dream World, Australia. This is a steel shutter roller coaster with a height of 115 meters. It was the
Came out of there like a rocket.
first roller coaster in the world to reach 100 miles per hour speeds, making it the tallest and fastest roller coaster in the world at the time. The Tower of Terror 2 is a steel shuttle roller coaster located at the Dream World Amusement Park on the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia. When the Tower of Terror opened on January 23, 1997, it was the first roller coaster in the world to reach 100 miles per hour speeds. The ride is situated on the Dream World Tower, which also houses the giant drop freefall ride. The ride was originally known as the Tower of Terror until it was modified and relaunched in September 2010. The steel and concrete structure cost $16 million to construct. The original ride featured a shorter 80-meter tunnel, a rigid lap bar using a hydraulic locking system, and would carry 15 passengers at a time. The relaunched ride takes 14 passengers. It propels passengers to just under 161 kilometers per hour, with a maximum of 4.5 G and 6.5 seconds of weightlessness. As of 2010, the ride is 4th in the tallest roller coaster rankings, 3rd in the tallest roller coaster drop rankings, and 4th in the fastest roller coaster rankings. Number 5. Colossus Thorpe Park, United Kingdom. The Colossus roller coaster is the park's first major attraction and is located in Thorpe Park in Surrey, England. It was developed by Werner Stengel as an adaptation of Monte Macaia in Brazil. With input from Tussaud's attraction producer John Wardley, it was manufactured by Swiss company Intamin. Colossus was the world's first 10-inversion roller coaster. A near-identical copy, known as the 10-inversion roller coaster, was later erected in the Chimlong Paradise in Guangzhou, China. It held the record for the most inversions on any other roller coaster in the world until 2013. when the Smiler at Alton Towers surpassed it. Intamin employed a train design identical to their mega coaster models, which are exposed by removing the train sidewalls. Riders were able to elevate their legs outside the train while it was moving, which produced issues. To avoid this, the ride was reinforced with metal bars on the sides of the train for a brief period in 2002 and 2003 to prevent passengers from doing this. The trains were equipped with new type restraints in 2003, and the metal plates were removed. The roller coaster is located in the Lost City section of the park to the southeast. The vertical loop, a Cobra roll, 2 corkscrews, and 5 Heartline rolls make up the ride. The ride's rough premise is the remnants of an Atlantean civilization that was just discovered. Number 4. Arkham Asylum, Movie World, Australia.
I don't feel like the word asylum should be anywhere in the name of a roller coaster. It just does, that don't fit, no.
It might as well be an asylum since you might lose your senses at the end of it. It has 5 inversions that will make your head spin and your stomach churn. It has a top speed of 88 kilometers per hour and a height of 109 feet. The Vekoma SLC roller coaster Arkham Asylum Shock Therapy is located at Warner Bros. On the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia. There is a place called Movie World. The coaster was titled Lethal Weapon. The ride, when it first opened in 1995, and it was based after Shane Black's Lethal Weapon film series.
I'm not getting on no roller coaster that your feet are just dangling. No. That's not happening, bro. I need something to brace on. Like, the brace is everything. You need that brace.
The attraction was renamed Arkham Asylum and rethemed to Batman Arkham Asylum in 2012. The roller coaster was Australia's first steel-inverted roller coaster. The train ascends the 33.3-meter lift hill before descending a sharp, curving right-hand dip. The train next enters a rollover, which is followed by a hill with a left-banked curve. A sidewinder follows at the bottom of the hill, followed by a 270-degree turn to the right. Then there are 2 inline twists. Riders will experience a sudden 180-degree turn to the right after exiting this element. Arkham Asylum, unlike other Vekoma suspended looping roller coasters, has an extra helix shortly before the braking run. Vekoma dubbed this part the Bayern Curve, and it was the first to be put into a suspended looping roller coaster. Number 3. Flying Fury Ride. One of the most interactive rides on the market is this huge machine. Riders control the 4-passenger tiny planes using a joystick, which allows them to do barrel rolls and spin 360 degrees as the arms raise them to heights of almost 120 feet. Riders on the autopilot option give up control of
Getting nauseous and dizzy just watching that. Ugh.
the aircraft in exchange for faster speeds, about 15 RPM, whilst the interactive mode slows things down to around 7 RPM. A T-column and 2 parallel independent arms make up Flying Fury. A craft with 4 seats is brought to life by each arm, moving 360 degrees in both directions independently. The ride allows each of the 2 vehicles to spin 360 degrees on the 3 major axes independently, while the support arm rotates to imitate unexpected climbs and dives. The vehicle is free to turn both on the arm's axis, yaw, and on its own axis, roll. Riders or operators can use interactivity to control the plane's motions and flight performance, but the plane can also be put into emergency mode, reverting to an automatic program. Inverters regulate the monitors in the electromechanical transmission. A joystick lets riders to control the motions and create their own flying performance, allowing them to ride their style. This attraction is a cutting-edge live flight simulator that provides riders with unique sensations that can only be obtained by hiring a real plane. Number 2. Fireball Ride.
Fireball.
This ride's concept goes back to the 1970s, but its simplicity and basic approach to nausea induction give it a timeless vibe. Larson International, located in
Give it a so not nausea is timeless. You seek that out, huh? No.
Texas, makes many variants of the ride, including the 60-foot diameter Fireball. Although roller coasters aren't exactly portable machines, this one is small enough to be transported on a trailer, while still being large enough to frighten riders of all ages. Riders must sit upright, be constrained by a lap bar in a limited space, and hang on to the lap bar during the ride. Riders must be able to endure strong side-to-side and back-and-forth motions. The rider gets flipped upside down on this ride. They must also climb into the car and hang on. Riders must mount and descend a ramp or stairwell to get access. Number 1. Sky Cycle Japan. Sky Cycle, probably the world's most environmentally friendly roller coaster, is located in
What is this?
Okayama, Japan's Washu-Zen Highland Park. It's a pedal-powered roller coaster that operates on roller coaster trails. Riders soar 590 feet in the air on this pedal-powered roller coaster. Daredevils will
No, thank you.
discover this roller coaster that you pedal to control 590 feet above the earth in Japan's Washu-Zen Highland Amusement Park. The Sky Cycle may not have any loops or drops, but riders will be cycling from dizzying heights in carts with only a seatbelt and no protective rails. This site offers stunning 360-degree views of attractions such as Okayama and the Great Seto Bridge, as well as the islands that make up the Seto Inland Sea. Each cart features 2 seats, and if you dare, a basket for you to store your goods in. Would you ever dare to ride any of these rides?
No. Absolutely. Maybe the one going through like the little cave mountain looking like thing. Yeah, maybe that. But listen, my advice to y'all is if you're going to do this, see a doctor first. Make sure you're healthy enough. And yeah, take you some extra underwear because you're going to need it. These rides here at these speeds and these turns and loops and backwards and forwards, yeah. Take your heavy supply of underwear. That's all I'm going to say, all right? Y'all get at me in the comment section, man. Are y'all a fan of amusement park roller coasters or not? Let me know. It's your boy L. Till the next one, I'm gone. Peace.